Thank you. Hi! Welcome to Suds and Fluff. My name is Martha. I'm gonna be getting started chopping up some jalapeno peppers. I'm gonna be making cowboy candy. I've got my gloves on. You wanna make sure they're food safe gloves. So for these, I'm gonna chop the ends off and, I think I need a bowl for compost. So last year, when I made this, I got complaints about it being too spicy, and I didn't take the seeds out last year. I just figured this is actually supposed to be spicy, we'll just chop them. But this year, I'm gonna try making it without the seeds. So I have I think it's meant for this, getting like a corer. So I've got my peeler where I'm gonna get the seeds and the core out, and then I'm gonna chop them into 1/4-inch rounds. I think I need a serrated knife because that's gonna make it a little easier. Actually, that was okay. So I'm slicing them into 1/4-inch rounds. So I was all set to make this the other day. Actually, I'm gonna get my serrated knife. I can't find the exact knife that I want, but I'm gonna go ahead and try this one. Oops, I'm putting them in the compost bowl. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in my pot because I've already weighed out the amount of peppers. My recipe calls for 3 pounds. So the food pantry actually gave us 2.5 pounds of really nice looking peppers. So we went ahead and bought the other 1/2 pound. And okay. And if you haven't had cowboy candy, it's a topping that's really spicy, but it's also really sweet, and it does have quite a bit of sugar and then some spices in it. But it's really good for putting on tacos or rice and beans or pizza, pretty much anything it's good on. So this is gonna be nice to have on the shelf as something that can dress up some simple meals. And oops, I have not done a lot of canning this year. I wonder if there's a better tool for this. Honestly, I've done barely any canning just because my knee has been causing me some difficulties. Plus, we didn't have as much of a vegetable and fruit harvest from our garden, like with tomatoes and salsa ingredients that we have had in the past. So that was actually nice because then I didn't feel the pressure to have to do the canning. Hi. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these chopped up. Alright, there they are, all sliced up. And first I'm gonna measure out the apple cider vinegar. I'm using Bragg's because that's what I have, and it's really good quality vinegar. It's only taking 2 cups for this recipe. Otherwise, if it was taking quite a lot of vinegar, I would probably just use the regular cheap apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to add turmeric. And we have minced dried garlic. And it calls for celery seed. And here comes the white cane sugar. Like I said, this does have a lot of sugar in it to counteract that spice. I'm just realizing you can see my skirt is unbuttoned at the top, but guys, my clothes are getting tight and my belly's getting bigger. I am pregnant, so sorry about that, but that's how it fits right now. Okay, and I've simmered the vinegar and spices together. Now I'm adding the sliced jalapenos and giving it a stir. That's gonna simmer for, I think it said 5 minutes. And now I'm loading the jars using a slotted spoon. So I'm just getting the peppers into my 1/2 pint jars. The next step in this recipe is to simmer the brine back on the burner so that it's a little bit of a thicker consistency. So I've done that. Now I'm pouring the brine over the peppers, leaving a 1/4 inch spacing at the top. And I'm going to be processing these for 10 minutes in my water bath canner.
So I'm so close to that.
All right, they are done. I'm gonna get the jars out.
I started. Which one is that?
All right, and we are done with that project. Today we are going to be making a few recipes that are baking recipes, and we already have our banana bread in the oven, and the next recipe we're going to be making is diced apple bread. Our butter and sugar in the mixing bowl, and we've creamed that together. Next we're going to add 2 eggs. Alright, so we've got 1 stick butter, 2/3 cup sugar, and 2 eggs. Let's mix it up. Then we're going to add the flour and apples and the dry ingredients. The other dry ingredients. Go ahead. Okay, so we're going to do 2 cups flour. do half a teaspoon baking powder and a teaspoon of baking soda. Now we're gonna get our salt. We need a half teaspoon.
Mom, could I have a
Will you please
lollipop?
not?
Salt.
Mom,
Could I have
please
a
don't put raisins in.
Okay.
Mom, can I have
I can't scoop from this one.
Mom,
This
could I have a
morning.
lollipop? Mom, could
I
I have a
can scoop
lollipop?
from it.
Mom?
No, you might not.
What, Mom?
No.
Me?
Could you turn on the light again, please?
Why? My inside.
Okay, now we can mix it up.
So Levi's standing at the door wanting to be let in.
Turn it off real quick. And we're gonna add the apples. Nope. Alright.
Too bad. Bye. Too bad.
Keep going a little bit with that.
Look.
Alright, there goes the apple bread. Hi. So I had to actually stop filming the whole making things because it just got way too hectic, and I realized we didn't have enough time for me to really spend the time filming them, so we just stopped. Now I'm peeling some potatoes for a mashed potato and veggie bake for dinner. We made the banana bread. That's actually all eaten. It's gone. And then we've got the apple bread for breakfast tomorrow. So I'm gonna be getting these potatoes peeled. I guess you can't really see what I'm doing, but you guys have seen potatoes get peeled before, right? So I'm gonna peel these. I'm actually saving the peels too, and my onion trimmings, because I'm gonna make a stock or broth with it. Definitely want to be using up as much as we can of our food that we can use, and that's one way to use up the peel. So yeah, it's actually pretty hard to film making food, honestly, at least for me. Some people do a great job. I feel like if I was more focused and didn't have a bunch of children popping in and yelling and demanding food and different things, it might be a little easier. And also it just depends on my patience and the mood, and also the amount of things that do need to be made. All right, well, see if I can finish up peeling these potatoes, and I'm gonna be simmering them in some water. So here they are once they've been steamed, and I've drained the water and set that aside to use in some soup. This recipe is from the More with Less cookbook, which is a great cookbook that my mom used, and she gave me a copy, which I wore out and ended up having to buy another copy because mine fell apart. So here I'm putting in the butter, which I think I tripled this recipe, so it's not going to be the same as in the book, but it's mashed potatoes with a good amount of sour cream and butter, and then it's calling for a little bit of sugar and some salt and pepper. I'm getting this all mashed together and letting the butter melt in. Then the recipe says add just enough milk until it's bringing it to a mashed potato consistency and to beat until fluffy. So I'm just going to use the potato masher. I'm sure you could use a hand blender if you really wanted to, but this worked just fine. Now I have some spinach and garlic that I've already sauteed together. Also, I think also, did I put onions in? Yeah, I think I do have onions in this. So I'm just gonna stir that in. These were so good, and it did say to add some shredded cheddar cheese on top before putting in the oven, but we didn't end up doing that, and it was still really delicious, and everyone liked it a lot.
Okay, Mom, I'm going to try to take a picture, and this time I'm going to be double close. I think Mama can. No, could you not be super close? Because I don't tell. Please don't be super close. Could you not?
I'm just gonna put this into a couple greased casserole baking dishes, and I put these in the fridge until we were ready to heat them up for some meals the next day. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. I've been enjoying filming some food making, even though I'm not very professional at it. It's been fun and helping me feel a little more intentional and thoughtful about the food I'm preparing. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see what we feel like filming next. I did make a really great soup from the potato peels and carrot peels and onion peel broth that I was talking about earlier. So I think I will be sharing that next.